No one out there.
Only call you when it's 5:30. The only time that I'll be by your side. I only love it when you.
Hey guys, this is Keiko 2000. I'm here to tell you about a story time. Excuse my hair. I'm not gonna put it up for a video, but we're going to be talking about how there was a rapist in my school. That this is completely true. I'm going to have some of my friends also make videos on it. It may be in this video or it may be in a separate video depending on when they make their video. Now, I'm not going to give away the person's name because I don't want to give away, my location. I just printed out the story on here, and first I'm going to tell you the things that led up to it that were really suspicious. Not that he was a rapist, but that something creepy was about this man. And then I'm going to read what an article, it was actually by Paula Reed Ward at Post-Gazette. He was my music teacher, and this happened in 2014 when he was found guilty. Now, keep in mind, guys, this man, it says that he was 60 at this time. So he's 60 then. So he's 62. At that time, he was 60. And he was our music teacher. He had been my music teacher since I could go. So I think that was like kindergarten up to 5th grade. And constantly, every single day, he would have girls come sit on his lap. Little girls sit on his lap. He would give them hugs. And, even the teachers reported on him saying that he was a little too touchy-feely with his students. And I was the only girl in my class that never went up to hug him. Because my parents had always taught me about sitting on other people's laps that weren't my, family, my close family. And even that could be dangerous. But, they taught me. They said, one time I met the vice president, and and I wanted to sit on his lap. So my parents made sure they were watching me the whole time to make sure nothing would happen. And they trusted the man. They had been friends, but you can't be sure for everyone. And they were just going up, and he was hugging them, keeping them on their lap. The only dangerous thing that happened for me is I would get really bored in his class, and I was the front row. There were like 4, and it goes up like a staircase, and it goes up like bleachers. And I fell asleep. I fell asleep every single class. And the thing that gets my heart racing is, what if I fell asleep and no one woke me up? What if they all just left and he's like, no, I'll take care of her? What if that happened? Because that's a possibility. Luckily, I had friends beside me waking me up during the class. But every single day, I fell asleep. I had my mouth hanging open. He didn't wake me up, but other people around me woke me up. And that's the crazy thing. What would have happened if I would have stayed asleep and then he woke me up when everyone else was gone, no witnesses? And that scares me. All these things were occurring. The teachers were reporting these type of things, but no one was doing anything. The person who he raped, I'm just going to read the story so I get this exactly right. But those were the weird things leading up. Letting it, being too touchy-feeling with them, letting people sleep in his class without trying to wake them up, and letting the other students wake them up. Because no teacher I know does that. And it was 5th grade where he got caught. So let's read this. So he was found guilty, and he was given 3 to 8 years in jail, which I want to inform you, he's out of jail right now on house arrest. Really? Anyways, former blank blank elementary school music teacher and high school marching band director accused of raping a minor pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 to 8 years in prison on Monday. And I came home that day, guys. I came home and I got on Xbox, and everyone was just telling me he had been caught. They saw them run into the office. And I didn't believe him because everyone hated him, basically, except those girls who were going on his lap. And even they hated him. They were just sucking up to the teacher. And it scared me when we got the letter home. And remember, I'm in 5th grade. I'm like just little girl, who has known this guy for 5 years, 6 years of my life, and it was scary to me because we got a note home the next day talking about this, and I wish I still had it. the rapist, 60, I'm just going to say the rapist instead of his name. The rapist, 60, also will be required to serve 7 years probation and register for the rest of his life as a sex offender. During the hearing before Common Pleas Judge Jill E. Rangos, he apologized for his actions. My client did not want to put the victim through any trial or have to testify, said the defense attorney Michael Santacola. It is the end of the investigation, according to Mike Manko, the spokesman of the office. Although parents in the school district raised concerns when they learned an investigation of the rapist was initiated in 2009, and he was caught in 2014. They took 5 years. It says it was raised concerns when they took this in 2009, but it led to no charges. Mr. Manko said no additional reports or complaints regarding conduct have been made. He took responsibility for what happened on Monday, and that's the end of it. Mr. Sancato said, "That's never been any compliment from anyone, complaints from anyone at the school. Allegations that the rapist had raped a relative first surfaced in 2009 when the girl was 17 years old and contacted the director of a Christian-based organization." Now, I know it doesn't say it here, and I'm not sure if this is 100% true, but from what I've heard, it was his niece. Be careful with the people around you guys. This is not a funny story, but I'm trying to inform you about some of the closest people could be terrible, do terrible actions. And she was 17, being raped by, I guess right now, by a 51-year-old man who was her uncle. No. The director contacted the township, who began an investigation in 2009 after the girl had contacted the church. At first, when interviewed with relative present, the victim recanted an earlier statement debating abuse, and no charges were filed. So she told people about this, but nothing was done to help her. No one helped her. But after Christmas in 2013, fellow teachers of streets told administrators in the district that they thought their colleague was being too touchy-feeling, says that in quotation marks, with students, including holding them on his lap and hugging them. I haven't even read this yet. And I said the exact same thing to you guys. The school superintendent reviewed school-owned laptop computer and found a letter he wrote referring to an inappropriate relationship with the relative who started when she was 11. Guys, okay, listen. I'm getting a little teared up just because this is such a big deal. This wasn't even me who was being affected by it, but one of my biggest fears is being kidnapped or raped. And this happened to her when she was 11. I was 11 when this story came out, and it had me very paranoid. But it started when she was 11 till when she was 17. 6 years of rape. And no one helped her. The document, according to complaint filed against him, included passages such as letting my feelings show for someone that society says is a no-no, and I will try to keep my emotions in hands to myself. That's his excuse. That's what he said. He said, letting my feelings show for someone that society says is a no-no. It's your niece. It's your niece. She's 11 years old and you're 51. He's married. He's married also. He's married and he had a daughter himself. And I don't know if he had any more kids, but the daughter went to my school. He was married again, like I said, hitting on an 11-year-old girl, 51 years old. The woman told police in a recent interview that her 2009 allegations were truthful and that and that the rapist hand-delivered the letter to her last fall. Pleaded guilty to rape of unconscious victim, sexual contact with a minor, salutary sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault, indecent of a minor, endangering the welfare of children, corruption of miles, and indecent assault. How many things was he just charged there with? Let's see. And he admitted to this. He said, okay, so unconscious rape of an unconscious victim, so rape, sexual contact with a minor, salutary sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault, incent of a minor, endangering the welfare of children, corruption of the minors, and the indecent assault. He was charged with 7 accounts of assault. And it took them 5 years. Not 5 years, 6 years. She was 11 to when she was 17. The prison sentence was part of a negotiation plea agreement. In exchange, the DA's office withdrew 5 accounts that related to activity that illegally occurred before the victim turned 13. Mr. Manko said, the office had evidently issues on those accounts. Wait a second. The prison sentence was part of a negotiated plea agreement. In exchange, the DA's office withdrew. They took away 5 accounts against him because she was 11 then, and it says the office had evidently issues on those accounts. So they took away all of them except the ones they had like records of her saying before she came out again at 17. But they know it's true. He admitted to it. So what's the problem here? A spokeswoman for the school district said there would be no comment. The rapist resignation was accepted as the school board's March 3rd meeting. I would show you the other page, but this is what I just read. 2 pages. And I want to tell you guys something. I didn't think this would happen. I thought it would just be a story where I'm saying it. And I'm a little afraid if I'm thinking to myself, am I going to leave? Am I going to leave the parts of me crying in? I think I'm going to leave some in, but I've been crying basically this whole video. And I just want to say to you guys, if someone has ever done anything like this to you, or you know someone who's a victim of this, or you have a feeling, you need to speak up, because someone should not go even a year, even a day of being raped or sexually assaulted. But this girl, since she was 11 years old, raped by her uncle for 6 years. He was 51. She was 11. Of course society says no to that. She didn't have a choice. And you gave her a letter saying that you're gonna try to keep your emotions within yourself. A month before this happened, or however long it was, when she was 17. Yeah, almost of age. I hate to not say his name. When I'm older, I'm gonna hopefully look back on this video and I'm gonna tell who he is. You guys may have figured it out. I hope you figure it out, in fact. And if you're someone from my school, please put in the comments down below what you think of the situation. Do not say his name, or I can't put the comment up, and don't say the school district. But this was my old school where it happened. The elementary school. Elementary. You can't trust anyone these days, can you? Keep those you love close. And guys, stay safe. Because this is one of my biggest fears, and I'd hate for it to happen to anyone. And if it could all go away, well, that's never gonna happen, is it?
Blows up, bitch, I make it rain shower. You did that. They wouldn't know a thing about you. You still